Next is Mr. Mansfield, Jim Mansfield.
And senators, for allowing me to give testimony in support of Bill 112. I'm here today to show my sincere support for this long overdue bill. I call it the Guam Healthcare Accountability Bill that will not only finally reform healthcare on Guam, but will save lives in the process and hold healthcare providers here accountable for once. Let's face it, the healthcare system on Guam is broken because for decades, victims like myself have had no legal recourse or right to due process concerning medical negligence. I'm a veteran, a statistic, and a case study of this broken and sick health system on Guam. I am not a weed because I want legal justice, so I was insulted by the arrogance last week of Maria Chela Mariano, who gave testimony. I think she should apologize to all the victims on Guam that were killed or injured by medical negligence. The patient as a weed statement by her last week is an example of a lack of compassion and empathy, and why the people of Guam finally deserve the same rights and protections that the rest of the country take for granted. We will not be intimidated. We will not be threatened by this unethical and unprofessional behavior anymore. Bill 112 will hold the whole healthcare industry to higher standards here and will reform the entire broken and sick system. This is just a start, but a mandatory start in the right direction for the people of Guam. The people have spoken and have demanded Bill 112. We will not compromise on this bill, since the white coats here have had decades to meet us at the table, but have stubbornly refused to work on solutions, so their boat has sailed. Frankly speaking, the people of Guam deserve the safeguards, respect, and dignity that this bill provides. But the actions of these white coats has raised red flags by showing their true self-serving privileged interest, while the poor, injured, and killed victims of medical negligence continue to suffer because of systematic medical negligence and a lack of legal rights and protections from the judicial system on Guam. These individuals have run wild on Guam for decades without any enforcement or oversight. So they need to have more accountability and ethics, and this bill will solve that problem. They are not diplomats and should not have diplomatic immunity from legal proceedings. We live in a democracy with a democratic legal system, but these white coats here feel like they are above the judicial system and the law. They have a sense of entitlement that is not fair or reasonable in 2021. Guam has been a safe haven and paradise for them for decades, and they have exploited the law to their advantage. Bottom line of their cash flow, it is a standard business practice to pay for medical insurance everywhere in the country, but not here. So that is why these individuals came here to set up shop. This is why all these traveling doctors and nurses fly in for a few months to make a quick buck without any legal or moral consequences. The white coats have failed to ethical responsibility and police themselves. So this is why this bill is so needed on Guam. The people of Guam should not have to go off island for medical treatment to Hawaii or the Philippines because they are so worried that they have no legal recourse if they are injured or killed. So that is why so many people on Guam, if they had a choice, would prefer to go off island for medical treatment, since they know that they are legally protected in cases of medical negligence. The people of Guam have a right to the same protections that people on Hawaii have. So we can finally stop the GMH and get me to Hawaii talk once and for all. And to the doctors that are unethically, disturbingly threatening to withhold health care because they don't want to pay medical insurance. May I add, it's fully tax deductible like every doctor everywhere else pays. Then maybe you should leave and go to Hawaii, to your other home in Hawaii, since you have to pay it in Hawaii too. The people of Guam will not be held hostage by fear from these unethical doctors anymore. The days of coming to Guam to needlessly pad hospital bills, avoid lawsuits, avoid medical insurance, and medical malpractice settlements are over. And maybe then you will all think twice before you do an unneeded medical procedure. And what makes this matter worse is the Guam Board of Medical Examiners is dysfunctional and does not even investigate due to so-called lack of investigation funds. So victims like myself have no other legal recourse. I filed a complaint with the Medical Board of Medical Examiners with Dr. Berg 18 months ago, and it's still sitting on his desk collecting dust with the other 33 cases. And not one of them has even been investigated or been found to be negligent of any wrongdoing.
Mr. Mansfield, your time is up. Please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll hear from Julia A. Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez, thank you for waiting. I know you were at the last hearing as well. Please proceed.
I'm sorry, my name is Julie A. Sanchez. I'm here for my husband that just passed away. It's really tough